We would like to welcome all of you to the 15th Annual Shape of Addison Town Meeting. I am Jack Mensching from Itasca Bank and Trust Company, and I will act as the moderator of this forum. We are very pleased to work with all of the taxing bodies that are here for tonight's program. We hope all of you have found the previous town meetings informative and a good vehicle to have your questions answered. We are excited to have a live audience again this year, and we're also excited to have all the people at home who are listening to us live and will be able to get questions in to us. The speakers and their support persons are here, and we are all socially distancing. Of all the towns that we host town meetings in, Addison's the only one that can really pull this off through the pandemic in a good way. They've got a great recording studio and a live television channel. It's a great benefit to the community. Each speaker will have approximately 5 minutes to talk about their recent accomplishments and the future plans of their organizations. After everyone has had an opportunity to speak, we will entertain questions from you. For the questions, please email them to shapeofitasca@addison-illinoisil.org or phone them in to 630-693-7975 between now and 8:15. Or Shape of Addison. Is that what I said? Didn't I? Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong town. Shape of Addison at addison-il.org. They'll be flashing that up on the screen. Won't Itasca think those are pretty funny questions coming in for them? I will then read the questions so that everyone may hear them and then direct them to the proper parties. We will try to answer all of your questions if time permits. The only thing is that we ask that the questions be non-political and not get personal. Questions of that kind will not be read as they are not appropriate for this forum. There are many exciting events and issues with the pandemic and other things going on this past year. We should have lots of questions, and we need questions from you to make this evening a success. Our speakers tonight are going to be Dave Williams, Board President, Addison School District Number 4, Donna Kraft Kane, DuPage High School District 88. Chief Scott Walker is substituting here at the last minute for the Addison Fire Protection District, and Dean Staphopoulos is treasurer of the Addison Park District, and he's also a last-minute substitute here. We appreciate them for that. Next will be Maria Sincule. She's board president at the Addison Public Library, and we have a new speaker this year, and we're excited. Dennis Rebelletti, supervisor of the Addison Township, and Rich Veenstra, mayor for the village of Addison. Many of our speakers have brought people from their organizations to handle any questions which may be technical. They're seated over there, and we appreciate their efforts to be here tonight also. Our first speaker tonight is Dave Williams, President, Addison School District Number 4. Addison School District Number 4 was established by local residents in April of 1842. The elementary school district serves nearly 4,000 students in 9 schools and has the lowest tax rate of all elementary school districts in DuPage County. The district portion of your property tax bill is 31.5%. The elected officials consist of 7 members of the Board of Education. Dave has been on the board for 21 years. He's been 15 years as president, and he's lived in Addison for 41 years, and he's spoken at every one of these town meetings. Dave?
First of all, I'd like to thank Itasca Bank and Trust for their sponsorship of the 15th Annual Shape of Addison Town Meeting. This evening, I'm pleased to be able to highlight a few of the ongoing programs and issues affecting Addison School District 4. Our facility and infrastructure improvements continue. This past summer, the media centers at Lake Park and Lincoln schools were totally remodeled with new furniture added. Bids have already been received for the total renovation of the media center at Indian Trail Junior High, which will take place this next summer. We are currently in the process of evaluating the HVAC systems at all the schools in order to enhance air quality. To help students who have been negatively impacted by the adverse conditions of remote learning during the pandemic, the school instituted a summer success program last summer. We served approximately 520 kindergarten through 8th grade students during this program. This program helped prepare students for a successful start to the school year and was paid for by using federal ESSER funds. To continue supporting our students impacted by the pandemic, we've started an after-school support program. It currently has 508 students and 60 staff members participating. The program will run from mid-January through spring break, and again is funded through the federal ESSER funds. Due to increasing technology loads for all our students, all the Chromebooks throughout the districts were replaced this past year. You may have heard, it's with deep regret actually, that after serving in District 4 for 26 years, 13 years as superintendent, John Langton will be retiring this year. The board is excited that we're able to complete the search for John's replacement and are pleased to announce that Dr. Nick Sutton will take over on July 1st. I would encourage the community to watch the monthly board meetings on our district YouTube channel, which is linked on our website. Thank you for the opportunity this evening to highlight what is happening in Addison School District 4. Superintendent Langton and I will address any additional issues you may have during the question and answer segment. Additionally, our new newsletter, Connect for Kids, that hasn't been mailed out yet, is out on a table outside the doors if you'd like to pick it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Our next speaker will be Donna Kraft-Kane. She is the board president, DuPage High School District 88. She's been on the board for 18 years, been board president for 11 years. The DuPage High School District was founded in 1918 by voters approving the creation of a community high school district for the Elmhurst-Villa Park area. The high school district portion of your tax bill is 27%. The governing board consists of 7 elected members. Donna?
Thank you. On behalf of the DuPage High School District 88, I would also like to thank Itasca Bank and Village of Addison for this opportunity to share highlights and news of the district, which is comprised of Addison Trail and Willowbrook High Schools. I would also like to thank the District 88 Board of Education members and administrators who are in attendance both in person and virtually tonight. As we reflect on this past year, the challenges we all continue to face as a result of COVID-19 pandemic are still prevalent and difficult. It truly takes everyone working together to get through this unprecedented time, and we appreciate your continued support of our schools. We would also like to thank the village and the police department, the fire department, and others who helped us host multiple COVID-19 vaccine clinics. To alleviate financial stress for our families during this time, we refunded and waived our registration, textbook, rental, and student parking fees this year. We also removed the fee for the District 88 students to attend school events and activities. The adversity of the pandemic has also increased the social, emotional, and mental health needs of our students. We know building relationships precedes learning, and we continue to focus on connecting with all our students to foster an inclusive environment and a sense of belonging. This year, we implemented the Alyssa's Mission SOS Signs of Suicide program, which educates students on how to identify signs of depression and suicide in themselves and their peers, while training school professionals, parents, and community members to recognize at-risk students and take appropriate action. We also partnered with Referral GPS, a free online service that assists students, staff, and community members in finding local treatment for mental health and substance use needs. In 2020, we formed the CARE team, which stands for Committed to Academics, Resiliency, and Equity, to concentrate on the well-being of students and staff. These initiatives are in addition to the supports and resources provided by pupil personnel service staff members. This past fall, based on the increased mental health needs of our students, we added additional social work support at both campuses. Despite the obstacles, our students and staff continue to achieve inside the classroom and beyond. We have many mixed successes as a district and community. We might still need to wear masks and socially distance, but we couldn't have been more thrilled to have our students and staff walk through the doors and return to campus on the first day of school this year. We remain focused on providing flexible pathways to help each student reach success, including offering a variety of college-level classes and workplace certifications and experiences. Our vision is to prepare students to be college, career, and culturally ready. Highlights of the 2021-2022 school year so far include our 4-, 5-, and 6-year graduation rates remained above the state level. Members of the Addison Trail High School's class of 2020 and class of 2021 are attending nearly 70 colleges and universities, including Ivy League and other highly competitive institutions of higher learning. 42 Addison Trail students graduated early in December. We also remain above the state level in terms of number of grade 9 students who are on track to graduate from high school. On average, in 2021, District 88 students saved $582,498 in college tuition by taking AP exams and dual credit courses. District 88 continues to offer and expand career certifications in the area of culinary arts, automotive technology, preschool, child development, building trades, and engineering and manufacturing. The Illinois Student Assistance Commission announced the 2021-22 state scholars, and 31 Addison Trail students earned that honor. Addison Trail seniors Lindsay Stevenson and Hannah Zechariah were named as committed students in the 2022 National Merit Scholarship Program. Addison Trail senior Cammie Whitaker signed to attend Cornell University and received a financial package to compete for the women's gymnastics team. Addison Trail hosted a national letter of intent signing day for senior Carly Zaffro, who committed to join the University of Wisconsin Green Bay women's swimming and diving team. Addison Trail seniors Cindy Nakarama and Maria Martinez also were selected to participate in the 2022 Illinois High School Theater Festival all-state production of Cabaret. Addison Trail seniors John Penz and Fernando Padua III were named as all-state musicians by the Illinois Music Education Association. Addison Trail World Language teacher Judy Viteretti Lynch was named as a National Advocate Lead with the AP Advocates Program. We received 2 state-level Those Who Excel awards from the Illinois State Board of Education, and District 88 Chief Financial Officer Ed Hoster was named as a 2021 recipient of the Illinois Association of School Board Officials Monarch Award, a recognition of school business officials who have demonstrated excellence and service to their school district and communities and profession. This past year, we also welcomed several familiar faces to new positions. Dr. Jean Barbonente has been with District 88 for 27 years and was officially named as our 10th superintendent in July. Her leadership, vision, and knowledge are a tremendous asset to ensure we continue to expand upon the legacy of the late Dr. Scott Helton. We are also named a new principal at Addison Trail, and Jack Andrews, who is an Addison native and an alumnus of Addison Trail. He's doing a tremendous job in his first year in this position. And on the Board of Education, we were pleased to have Christine Poyer, Jean Taylor, and Diana Stout join the district. With regards to finances, we maintain a stable budget to be fair and financially, fiscally responsible to our taxpayers. We are happy to share that through those efforts of everyone working together to control expenditures, the improving economy through fiscal year 2021 and funding facility improvements with recent bond issuance, this is the 6th consecutive year we have not needed to use our financial reserve funds. With regard to property taxes, about 27 cents of each dollar goes to support District 88, and we work hard to reduce costs for taxpayers through cooperative purchasing and sharing services with other local agencies, and we continue to our financial rating of AA1 from Moody's and the highest level recognition for financial rating from the Illinois State Board of Education. And with regards to facility updates, we plan to install air conditioning in the career and technical education area of Addison Trail this summer, but we have postponed the project to the summer of 2023 because of a supply chain delay. But we are pleased to share that we received $600,000 grant through the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity to help fund this project. We're also looking to open the track in the school's field house to the public. Community members could use that area from 5 to 6:30 a.m. on school days with a valid school ID, or not valid school ID, valid ID, I should say. We know our success is a result of our partnerships, and we look forward to working with the community to keep improving our schools. We value our open and transparent communication with our stakeholders, and we frequently update our website, electronic newsletter, and social media to keep the public up to date with the happenings of our schools. This year, we're redesigning the website. Enhancements include a fresh new look, more user-friendly navigation, and better accessibility. We encourage you to visit www.dupage88.net, where you can stay connected with the news from the district, sign up for our newsletter, and join our social media. Thank you for your continued support of our students, staff, and entire learning community at District 88.
Thank you, Donna. We need more questions, so if you're here or if you're home, please get some questions in. The more questions we get, the better the program is. For the Addison Fire Protection, the speaker is going to be Chief Scott Walker. He's been chief for 2 years. He's been on the fire department for 30 years. The Addison Fire Protection District was founded in 1947 by a referendum of incorporation on February 27, 1946. The Fire Protection District portion of your tax bill is 9%. The governing board consists of 3 elected officials. Scott?
Thank you. As was said earlier, I was the last minute substitute. Our board treasurer, Dealer Rocket, is under the weather, so she has been stepping in. She is at home tonight with our other 2 trustees, Trustee Bax and Trustee Super. And in the audience, I've got Deputy Chief Kramer. So I'd like to thank the village and Itasca Bank for having us at this event once again. So 2021 was an unprecedented year for the fire district again, both from a standpoint of the effects of COVID and call line. Towards the end of 2021, the fire district experienced more. Okay. Better now? Yep. All right. Sorry. So 2021, we experienced more employees with COVID than we did at any other time, and we've transported and treated more patients with COVID than any other time. So just when we thought 2020 was going to be the worst of it, turns out 2021 was even harder. As far as call volume goes, year over year, the district responded to 5,435 calls in 2021. That was a 9% increase from the previous year. That was the largest increase year over year that we've ever experienced. And there's no sign that it's going to stop anytime soon. During the last Shape of Addison, we shared the fact that the district was pursuing pension bonds to pay down our pension liabilities. Shortly after the last Shape of Addison, in February, those bonds closed. We timed the market pretty good. There was a big demand for our bonds, so the interest rates that we thought we were going to get wound up being even lower. So initially, when we discussed this last year, we said that the 20-year life of the bonds, we'd save about $23 million for the taxpayers. We're hoping that number is going to actually be a little bit better because our interest rates were lower than anticipated. Over the past few years, too, we shared with all of you our efforts to become accredited through the Commission on Accreditation International. For the last 7 to 8 years, this is something we've been working on, and I'm happy to report in October of this year, the fire district finally became accredited. Of the 29,000 established fire departments in the United States, less than 1% are accredited. And worldwide, there's less than 300. So it took us a long time to get there, but we finished it, and we're happy that we did it. And I want to thank everybody in this room because part of the accreditation process was working with the village, with the water department. So everybody played a role. So I thank everybody in this room for getting us over the finish line. Now that that's completed, we get evaluated every year, and then every 5 years we got to go through the cycle again. So just because we finished it, it never stops. So, but we're looking forward to that challenge. As everybody knows, the pandemic has caused supply chain issues, and there's no different for the fire district. We were supposed to order a new ambulance in 2022, beginning of this year. With the supply chain shortages, we decided to make that purchase in the fall of last year to try to get the timing right. So our purchase was in September of 2021. We're not going to see the ambulance at the beginning of 2023. So just like everybody's feeling the pinch and the supply chain, we're no different. So we wanted to get that in. So we expect to see a new ambulance sometime in the beginning of 2023. We'll see. During 2021, we made additional capital purchases. We replaced our HVAC system that failed out at our Rowling Road station, and we also replaced all the turnout gear for all our employees. Our turnout gear is the firefighting suits, if you will, that we wear to go into structure fires. People don't realize those only last for 10 years. They're only certified for 10 years. So for us to replace our entire turnout gear allotment for the entire fire district, that's about a $220,000 purchase. So we save over 10 years. So last year was the year we made that purchase. During the last year, we hired 4 new employees to replace 4 retirees, 4 people that entered into retirement. And ironically, we also said goodbye to 4 retirees that passed away. So last year was a number of 4s. Finally, I'd like to encourage everyone that's watching at home here tonight to get to know your fire district. We believe strongly in transparency and community involvement. We encourage you to visit our website. Anything you guys want to know about the fire district, anything about our budgets, how we're spending money, meeting minutes, meeting dates, anything you possibly want to know, you can get from our website. So I encourage you to go out there, see what we're doing. And as always, if you have any questions, we're just a phone call away. In closing, I'd like to thank the Village of Addison Itasca Bank for hosting this event. We're hoping that 2022 we'll get past the pandemic. I'm sure everybody out there feels the same way. But we're still looking forward to see what 2022 brings. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Our next speaker is Maria Sinkiel. She is the board president, Addison Public Library. She's been on the board for 4 years, been president for 2 years, and lived in town for 36 years. In 1962, the village board approved a referendum request to establish a tax-supported library. The voters of Addison passed the referendum with a vote of 437 to 69. The library portion of your tax bill is 5.5%. The library board consists of 7 elected officials. Maria?
Thank you to Itasca Bank and Trust for sponsoring the Shape of Addison again this year. My name is Maria Sinkiel, and I am the president of the Addison Public Library Board. Before I begin, I would like to recognize Library Director Mary Majo Mazenge, who is here with me tonight to help answer your questions, as well as my fellow board members, Linda Durek, Maria Piscopo, Judith Easton, Ruben Robles, Robert Lyons, and Matthew Moretti. Like many of our community partners, we started 2021 unsure of what the year would bring. Thanks to the hard work of library staff, we were open and able to offer our core services to the community. In 2021, we welcomed over 85,000 visitors to the library and signed over 1,200 people for Addison Public Library cards. Our card holders borrowed over 158,000 library materials in the last year, which is a 6% increase in borrowing ever in 2020. We welcomed 52,000 people to our virtual and in-person library programs, and library staff assisted nearly 900 patrons with things like device help, job search assistance, school research projects, and more during one-on-one appointments. On top of this, library staff worked hard to develop the new offerings for the community. In January, we welcomed students to our new Health for English Learners class, which is presented in partnership with People's Resource Center. In March, we launched new job toolkits, a take-home service designed to help job seekers to start a new career. In April, we hosted our first COVID-19 vaccine clinic in partnership with Hamdard Health Alliance to help the Addison community get immunized. In June, we launched our literacy kits, a take-home service for patrons who want to practice and improve their English. In July, we began offering museum pass adventure passes, which allows library card holders to check out passes to places like the Brookfield Zoo, Chicago Botanic Garden, and more at no cost. I forgot to say this, but in July, we also celebrated the 5 new career online high school graduates who finished the program this year. In October, we were awarded a grant that will allow us to bring back the Getting Addison Back to Work program, which helps job seekers develop skills to succeed in a new job in 2022. We thanked all of our library patrons for their flexibility and support in 2021 as we navigated a COVID-19 pandemic and adapted to best serve you. As a reminder, curbside pickup is still available to all library card holders, and masks are still required for all library visitors ages 2 and up. We invite everyone in Addison to visit the library in person or online and discover all the ways you can put your library card to use. Last year, we launched a new strategic plan that will help us address community needs that were identified in our 2020 survey and garnered new initiatives through 2024. You can view the strategic plan and upcoming projects on the library website, but to summarize, our new strategic priorities include promoting library services, collections, and resources to the community, fostering reading, digital, and information literacy skills, identifying barriers to library services and addressing those barriers, and providing excellent customer service. By focusing on these things, our ultimate goals are that everyone in Addison knows what the library offers to them, and that everyone feels valued and respected in the library. As a part of our strategic plan, we have begun to work with an architecture firm to create a renovation plan for the library that addresses the community's noise and space concerns, includes additional meeting and co-working spaces, and offers a full-service drive-up window. Since our current building was completed in 2008, the board has been transferring reserve funds into our capital improvement fund in order to save for future building maintenance needs and an eventual renovation. Because of those accumulated funds, the library will be able to both manage building maintenance projects that will be addressed over time and complete a renovation to our existing building without asking taxpayers to contribute more money to the library. As of this moment, construction is slated to begin in 2023. We look forward to sharing more information with you as it becomes available. Before closing, I would like to thank our outstanding community partners for collaborating with the library to create new services and to help us spread the word about everything the library has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Our next speaker is our newest addition to the SHAPE meeting, Dennis Rebelletti. He's the supervisor of Addison Township. He's been with the township for 5 years. He's been supervisor for those 5 years. And Addison Township was settled in 1833 by Hezekiah Dunkley and Mason Smith, names from the past. Township government is the oldest form of government in America. Addison Township is one of 9 townships located in DuPage County. Boundaries are north of North Avenue, south of Devon, east of Route 53, and west of County Line Road. Encompassing most of Addison, Itasca, Elmhurst, and all of Bensonville and Wooddale, and parts of Lombard and Villa Park. Covers a wide area here. The board consists of a supervisor, clerk, assessor, highway commissioner, and 4 trustees. These positions are all elected. Addison Township receives 1.6% of your residential property tax bill. Dennis?
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you very much for the invite from Itasca Bank and to our friends here at the Village of Addison. 1833. Think about that. The Fisher School was the first schoolhouse, which is off of Grand Avenue and Church Road. And at that time, that's how schooling was settled, 6 square miles, and then townships grew from there. But we only grew to 1.6% of your tax bill. And so townships are probably the most misunderstood portion of your tax bill, but a very important part nonetheless. Our assessor, Chris Kane, who is from Addison, is in charge, his office is in charge of setting values of all commercial property and all residential property within the township. He doesn't set the tax rate, he sets the value of the homes. Our Highway Commissioner, Don Howard, who's also from Addison, is in charge of unincorporated roads, works here with the village as well as the county. He is in charge of over 26 miles of road. They take care of drainage issues, road replacement. There is unincorporated Addison here, subdivisions here. And then my board. We are partisan. We're the only partisan folks elected in the municipal election cycle. I have board members, Gus Leventis and Donna Tavello are from Addison as well. So you have a large representation throughout the township. You're also the largest village in the township. You're about half of the population, which is approximately 90,000 people. My office runs about a $2.5 million budget. And what do we do with that $2.5 million? Well, By state statute, we give out general assistance and emergency assistance to residents in need based on means testing. So what is that? Well, we found out very quickly in the pandemic what that was. So in our emergency assistance, we give out grants as needed to keep people in their homes. Rental assistance, mortgage assistance, water assistance, utility assistance became very crucial, and people were directed to us. One of the other things that we focus on is our food pantry. Our food pantry, previous to COVID, was serving probably 50 to 75 families throughout the township weekly. At its highest point in capacity, which all of the folks up here know about because we were on participating in phone calls, keeping each other updated, we were at 600 families per week. 600 families. We were almost 10 times what we were doing previously. So one of the things that myself and Mayor Veenstra, who approached me prior to winning my first election, was talking about consolidating the food pantries in Addison. And there were a number of food pantries in Addison. And so you think, well, why would you be concerned about consolidating food pantries? Well, if you have a number of food pantries that have to spend a number of resources to provide services to smaller amounts of people, it's pretty expensive. It's very labor-intensive work. So what we worked with, the faith-based community, the township, the village, and our partners up here, was using the township Old Oak School, built in 1948. We were able to rebuild and gut a food pantry, which is over 5,000 square feet. That was back in 2017. Fast forward from making it a small grocery store, which is called Client Choice, which we work with Northern Illinois Food Bank, local grocery stores, and through our Addison Township Foundation, which you can see on Facebook, our 501c3 partner, we were able to grow. And we were able to provide services as if you would go to a mini mart. Well, that all changed. We became a hub for the Northern Illinois Food Bank to work with local food pantries in Bensonville, Itasca, Elmhurst, other townships to feed those 600 families. We took in 2 semis a week of produce and milk, which we worked with District 4 and 88 to make sure families in need got that as well. So not only do we do that, but we brought in a veterans counselor who is from Addison. She sees folks at the township on Mondays. So that's a new partnership. Our caseworkers work with LIHEAP for utility assistance. They work with the Senior Health Insurance Program, helping Addison residents, our seniors, decide what Medicare programs are best for them, the pharmaceutical programs, and a number of other services, benefit access, which is to help the seniors, the disabled, with reduced license plates and registrations. The other thing that we focused on over the last 5 years is dealing with a 70-year-old building plus, and trying to bring that up into useful space, which is 45,000 square feet above grade on over 4.5 acres. So we've been working on that to make it accessible to the public, to serve our constituents, and what we've done is make it handicap accessible the best we can. We've worked on what used to be the Old Oak Gym, which we call now the Event Center, where we have worked with the county clerk to expand early vote. And last cycle, in the presidential race, we were almost the third largest voter turnout in the entire county. We had thousands and thousands and thousands of voters that came through. Our voters were happy, our judges were happy, the clerk's office is happy because of our renovations, including our HVAC renovations, where we've installed what they call RespiCare, which is ultraviolet lighting, and HEPA filters to make sure that we had the cleanest air possible for that, so people felt safer as they came in to vote. For those of you familiar with the township building, The lines wrapped around, out of the parking lot, onto Addison Road, and then wrapped around Oak Street at its largest. So when you have tens of millions of voters coming out nationwide, 75 million voters that came out, you're going to see that. So while we play a more low-key role, I think the pandemic really showed what the townships can do when our neighbors are in need. The township and our partners here were there. So we thank Itasca Bank and Trust and the village for inviting us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis. I'm giving him fits in the TV studio back there. I forgot the Park District. So our next speaker is Dean Statopoulos. He is the treasurer of the Addison Park District. He's been on the board for 3 years and been treasurer for 2 years, and he's lived in town about 25 years. The Addison Park District was formed in 1969, which grew out of the prior Village of Addison Recreational Commission. The Park District portion of your tax bill is 5.06%. The governing board consists of 5 elected members. Dean, sorry about that.
That's okay. Thanks for acknowledging us, though, Jack, and everybody in the control room for reminding them. We do, on behalf of the Park Board, we do want to thank Itasca Bank and Trust, Mayor Veenstra, the entire board, and everybody around tonight. With me, we do have Jen Hermanson, our Executive Director. She'll now be able to answer any questions at the end. We also have another board member, Stacy Ruffalo, in the crowd, our secretary. Thank you very much for attending. Unfortunately, our board president, Frank Angiulo, our vice president, Michael Capizano, and our commissioner, Mike Clementi, are not able to attend today. Excuse me. So as we're all aware, COVID has affected the park districts in numerous ways. But even through all of this, these last couple years, we've been able to do our numerous programs. We've been conducting our services that we have. Sorry about this. The services, and along the lines of doing that, we are able to follow state mandates and protocols. We do have the Centennial Gym is now up and running. We have the golf dome that is up and available as well. That if you've been out there lately, we do have the Top Tracer, which is a nice interactive golf simulator as well. In addition to that, we've also done a couple projects that have included a lot of the neighborhoods. Lake Manor, for example, we had a public meeting this past summer on what we can do to improve the current conditions out there. In addition, we've applied for a grant from the state of Illinois. We're still waiting to see on that. We've talked also about our community center, which does need some outdoor renovation. That is another grant that our executive director has applied for. We're waiting to get information and to see what the decisions from the state are going to be as well for that. Regarding the staffing issues, we are bringing in a lot of new staff. We're training them, but as every business knows and been going through, we do have positions available. So I did want to say, if anybody is interested, please visit our website and take a look at some of the applications that we have on there. Now, in addition to the Park District, we do have a lot of the structural issues as well. We're working on our roofs. We're trying to get a couple of them to fix. We've been working on fixing up our HVAC units. Community center is one of the big projects that we will be working on with the roofs as well. We do have Centennial. We know that we need to do work out there at Club Fitness. Another issue is our steam and sauna room, which does need a little bit of work. We are talking with people to get proposals and then hopefully get that thing out to bid. In addition, we are switching on the financial side, going from a May to April year to a calendar year, January 1 to December 31, so that we can get everything in line with our financial strategies and reporting requirements with all the legal deadlines. In the past, many people have again expressed interest in getting involved with the Park District, and we do have numerous opportunities. We encourage everybody to give us a call if you have ideas and suggestions. Our number is 630-233-7275. We have events coming up throughout the year, so if anybody wants to get involved, again, reach out to us. We will be doing our Park Pride events again in the spring and fall. If anybody's looking to sponsor events, local businesses, that's something that we're open to. We'd love to have the help of the village, the businesses around, We encourage participation. Now, just a couple quick reminders with our facilities. With the state mandates, we are following them, so please do wear your mask when you do enter our facilities and during the stay. If you do have medical conditions, we are open. Please speak with a supervisor or manager at the facility. On top of that, we are bringing out professional cleaning crews, so we are making sure that all of our equipment does get cleaned, sanitized. We do fog cleaning. We do deep cleaning as well. So please keep this in mind. They are safe facilities. We encourage residents to come out and enjoy them. The hours are, everything's still open. Club Fitness, Monday through Friday is 5 to 10, Saturday 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then Sunday 7 to 5. Our community center is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Community center, Centennial as well, we do have rooms for rental. Please give us a call if you want to host birthday parties or any other events. We're open to that. And then we also have our golf dome, which I mentioned with the top tracer. That is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. And then Saturday, Sunday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then, like I said, if anybody has any questions, please, we encourage them. Send an email, give a call, and we'll answer them as best we can. We do have a lot more events coming up. I did mention the spring cleanup and the fall cleanup, but we do have a daddy-daughter dance that is coming up February 12th. We have a mom and son night on March 12th. In addition, we have the Easter egg hunt and pancake breakfast, which is on April 9th. We do require pre-registration for all of these events. We're also looking to bring in a mini triathlon this year to the village with swimming, biking, and running in June. As we get closer, there will be more information made available. Again, with all the great programs and services that we offer, we believe that we have an opportunity for every resident, be it from the younger children to our seniors. Our senior center is very active with trips, activities a couple days a week. We have a great dance program, the soccer program, and the gym rentals as well. We do open gym a couple nights a week. So again, please reach out to us if you have any questions. If you have any ideas, the number again, 630-833-7275, or you can reach us via our website, addisonparks.org. Again, any questions, Jen will be happy to answer them later. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, Dean. Is the triathlon going to have people swimming down Salt Creek, or?
So as we get more details, we'll have that information for you.
It'll be interesting. Our last speaker before we get to the questions, and we still can use more questions, is going to be Rich Veenstra. He is the mayor, Village of Addison. He's been on the board for 30 years, been mayor for 9, and lived in town for 50 years. The Village of Addison was established by referendum of incorporation on September 8th, 1884. The elected officials consist of a mayor, village clerk, and 6 village trustees. The village tax portion of your property tax bill is 9%. Mayor?
Thank you. Good evening. I want to thank Itasca Bank for once again sponsoring the Shape of Addison, and to give special thanks to Jack for moderating tonight's presentation. I also want to recognize my colleagues whose help, support, expertise, and involvement have been critical in moving our community forward. They are Village Clerk Lucille Zaccaro, Deputy Mayor Tom Hunley, Trustees Bill Lynch, Kathy Klusny, Sam Nasty, Don O'Brien, and Jay Del Rosario, as well as our village manager, Joe Moranowitz, and our entire management team. A little more than a year ago, many of us were saying, thank God 2020 is over. It couldn't get any worse. Then came 2021 in our introduction to the Greek alphabet with letters like Delta and Omicron. It could have gotten much worse, but there's an old saying, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Well, our Addison team learned from 2020 and was determined not to let it repeat. Because of their hard work, dedication to our residents, and their individual skills and talents, our village staff was responsible for many of the positive outcomes of 2021 and for the expectations of an even stronger 2022. In spite of the continuing economic impact of COVID, this has been a very successful year for Addison. We continue to be financially stable, due in large part to a well-balanced diversity in our revenue stream and a conservative approach to our budgeting process. We continue to see interest and growth in commercial, industrial, and residential development. Our bond rating, which is critical in securing the most favorable credit rates, was reaffirmed at AA+. Our goal is to maintain an unrestricted fund balance of 25% of expenditures. This year, we were able to maintain a 44% fund balance, due in large part to the receipt of federal COVID mitigation monies, deferral of projects and programs, and the diligent work of our staff in maintaining a fiscally responsible operation while ensuring high-quality service levels. The high fund balance allows us to maintain service levels throughout the year and to fund some of the programs and projects that had been previously deferred. Additionally, we continue to be aggressive in our pursuit of both state and federal grants when available, and we were able to abate over $2.4 million in property taxes for bond payments using home rule sales tax revenues. Operationally, we installed plexiglass windows at the finance counter, which enabled us to move our cashier and payment functions back to the Village Hall. A new online payment portal for water bills was implemented, and we went live with a new business license software program that will facilitate online business applications and information updates. The village once again was the recipient of the Government Finance Officer Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence, for excellence, as well as the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. The bottom line is that the Village of Addison continues to be in a very strong financial position. Both the budget and annual comprehensive financial report can be found on the village website. While the continuing impact of the pandemic once again delayed several community development projects, as in 2020 we saw many projects completed and many more begun. Shoeless Joe's. In December of 2020, Shoeless Joe's was granted a special use and variation to allow for the construction of a new 2-story outdoor dining area, and a building permit was issued in August of 2021. Construction on the project was begun with plans to open for business later this year. Brunch Cafe. After the issuance of a permit in January of 2019, Brunch Cafe officially opened in April of 2021. Lucia Rose. After many delays caused by COVID-19, Lucia Rose finally opened their doors for business this past fall. This spring, business owners intend to build a pergola and complete the outdoor dining space. A&W. The former Burger King property located at 1012 North Rolling Road was sold last June to the Addison Food Group, who plans to convert the existing building into an A&W. Plans have been approved by the board, and a building permit was issued to refurbish the facade, remodel the interior, and add new outdoor dining. The contractor is looking to open for business in early spring. 1000 North Rolling Road, the infamous old Fuddruckers. A building permit was issued in March of 2020 to completely renovate the interior and exterior of the building, including major site improvements. The project was delayed due to the owner working outside the scope of the permit and resulted in the village issuing a stop work order. Further violations of village ordinances occurred, and multiple citations have been issued to the owner. We've recently learned that the property is now for sale. The Preserve at Oak Meadows. Work on this $13 million, 18,000 square foot clubhouse began in 2019. It features a full-service restaurant and bar, as well as a banquet area. Delays caused by COVID have slowed down progress, but the clubhouse officially opened in June of 2021. While this is a County Forest Preserve project, Addison will benefit from the new sales tax revenues. Altafer Cat. Altafer Cat completed relocation of their corporate headquarters to Addison along with their power system division. They have invested $6 million to remodel the 97 square foot building. The businesses brought approximately 80 new jobs to Addison and has a projected annual sales of $35 to $40 million. Building permits were issued in July of 2020. Final inspections were conducted and they're now operational. Physicians Immediate Care. The former Alpha Realty building was demolished in the fall of 2020 to make room for this 3,500 square foot, 1-story medical office building. A building permit was issued in January to construct the building. Final inspections were conducted this last fall, and the facility is now open for business. Amazon. Amazon will become the newest member of our business community when they move into their new 186,000 square foot delivery service facility located at Lake and Swift. This new facility, which occupies a once unincorporated parcel, will bring 200 new jobs to Addison. Delays in opening the facility were a result of changing their plans to go to an all-electric delivery vehicle system, as well as automating their warehouse operations. Amazon plans to be operational this summer. 7-Eleven, previously a mobile gas station, this site located at 1740 West Army Trail was completely redeveloped with a new 3,000 square foot 7-Eleven convenience store and a gas station. Ribbon cutting was held this past May. Quick Trip. In 1997, the village approved the Addison Town Center planned development, which included the Hilton Garden Inn, Medina Shriners, and 11-plus acres that had remained vacant at that corner of Swift and Army Trail Boulevard. Last May, the village board approved a site plan for a Quick Trip gas station and a convenience store on the southern 7.5 acres of the site. The facility will have 20 auto fueling positions, 5 diesel bays, a truck scale, and an 8,000 square foot convenience store. The balance of the property, which is immediately across from Medina Shriners, will remain available for future development of a hotel and restaurant. The developer is currently in for building permits. Addison Horizon. In December of 2021, the village board approved a 62-unit independent senior living facility. This facility, to be located on the 2.5-acre vacant property on Denise Court between Green Meadow Shopping Center and the park, is projected to start construction in 2023. Funding and permitting will consume a large portion of this coming year. The new Apostolic Church, formerly Alta Villa, the church officially opened their doors in April of 2021. The former banquet hall was completely remodeled, including exterior site and facade improvements, with a little over 2/3 of the building being a church and the remaining space carved out as future retail. The building owner has been proactively pursuing retail tenants. Alexandria Point. The 6.5-acre former Oxford Bank property was approved by the village board in May of 2019. The developer was granted a 1-year extension, and the project was reimagined as a 3-story, 132-unit building with mix of independent, assisted, and memory care units, similar to Clarendale. This past October, the village board approved an alternative site design with 13 additional units that will still provide for independent living, assisted living, and memory care areas. The developer is looking to start demolition this spring, with construction to follow soon. The Highlands. The former Driscoll property was sold to the Pulte Group to construct a 60-lot single-family residential subdivision named the Highlands. To date, the village has issued permits for 22 new single-family homes in Phase 1, with 5 already occupied. Average sales price is in the upper $500,000 range. Phase 2 of the development began earlier this spring, with mass grading and utilities being installed. The Enclave at Mill Creek. Meritus Homes is currently building 87 single-family homes on the 30 acres of the former Addison Golf Course. The project is targeting active older adults. Construction began on the models in fall of 2017. To date, Meritus sold and closed on 32 of the 44 homes in Phase 1. 3 more have been sold but haven't closed yet. Phase 2 has a similar number where 30 of the 43 homes have been sold and closed, with 9 more sold but not closed as of yet. The average sales price across both phases is estimated at $498,000. The Towns of Mill Creek, located on the corner of Army Trail Road and Mill Road, is a 60-unit hybrid townhome development that began this past fall with tree clearing and mass grading, drastically changing the streetscape of the area. Work on underground utilities, streets, and building foundations is expected to begin in early spring. Townhomes are projected to start in the mid to low $300,000 range. Woodland Estates. This development of ranch-style townhomes, originally 14 units and later expanded to 19, was approved by the village board in 2015. To date, 4 of the 5 buildings have been completed, and 13 of the 19 units are currently occupied. Units are selling in the $400,000 range. The fifth building is currently in for permitting, and the developer intends to complete the project this summer. The Green property. This residential property located on the corner of Lake and Addison Road is a key piece of the Village Town Center redevelopment master plan. The owner is under contract with a commercial real estate broker, and staff has met with numerous parties who have expressed interest in constructing a light industrial building on the southern portion of the property. After several meetings with the broker and developer, a concept plan and preliminary engineering was submitted to the Planning and Zoning Commission for the review. In September of this past year, the commission made a recommendation to the village board to approve a planned unit development, re-subdividing and rezoning the property to allow for the construction of a 188,000 square foot light industrial building to be located at the corner of Moreland and Addison Road, with the northern portion of the property, which will be owned by the village, reserved for retail or public use. Redevelopment of the property is anticipated to begin this summer. Lutherbrook. The village purchased the property in May of 2020. Its location, size, and visibility makes it a critical piece in our overall Lake Street revitalization. Staff has spoken with over a dozen developers interested in redeveloping the site for commercial and residential use, and several concept plans have been received. As a result of a dangerous fire causing structural concerns, the village demolished all 5 buildings this past fall, making the site safer and more attractive for redevelopment. Clearly, in spite of the pandemic, we saw significant growth in both the commercial and residential sectors. 89 new business licenses were issued this year, and we saw continued growth in the number of housing options for seniors, empty nesters, and those seeking quality mid-range housing. In terms of infrastructure, Public Works continued to focus on hard infrastructure throughout the past year with completion of several large projects. The much-needed upgrade and reconfiguration of the municipal parking lot was completed in late spring. Water main replacement was performed along Addison Road from Oak Street to Byron Avenue. The project was partially funded with a matching grant from the DuPage County Community Development Department. In addition, water main replacement was installed on the north section of Lincoln Avenue and on Linda Lane. The underground work on Linda Lane was done in advance of a total street resurfacing project scheduled for later this year. Water main replacement is also scheduled for Park Street between Diversey and Lincoln Avenue. The reconstruction of the anaerobic digester system at the North Wastewater Treatment Facility on Addison Road is nearing completion. The 2-year, $7.2 million renovation project will ensure the future sustainability of the plant and was constructed with the latest in technology, safety controls, and engineering efficiency measures currently available in the industry. The sewer division continued with the annual pipelining program in an effort to reduce inflow and infiltration in our sanitary sewer system. The program will help control surcharging in the system, a major contributing factor to basement backups. Additional lining projects are scheduled for this year. The water meter replacement and meter reading antenna system upgrade, originally slated for 2021, will be initiated this spring. All 10,000 water meters will be replaced in residences and businesses throughout the village. The newer technology of these smart meters will allow for more accurate tracking of usage, as well as options for customers to receive preemptive text or email alerts for leaks or high water usage. This year, we will continue to focus on drainage issues, resurfacing projects, and improvements to our facilities. Providing a safe environment, both for the residents as well as for business, is a prime responsibility of the village. For the 5th consecutive year, the Addison Police Department recorded a reduction in crime across all categories. We've spoken in the past on how programs like crime-free housing, community policing, DARE, and CERTS provide a positive interface between our officers and our residents. Now, special training and crisis intervention in active shooter situations have contributed greatly to that reduction. Their efforts and the quality of their work continue to be acknowledged by their certification with excellence from the Commission on Accreditation of Law Enforcement Agencies, an international accrediting body. This ranks Addison in the top 4% of accredited policing agencies worldwide. 2021 gave us new and unexpected challenges, but it also brought us recognition and validation of who we are as a community. As new fears of Omicron variant became a reality, we partnered with fellow governmental agencies to sponsor a vaccination clinic for our seniors. Over 1,200 vaccines were administered in one day. Subsequent clinics were held throughout the year as CDC guidelines allowed. In conjunction with our Workforce Development Committee, we sponsored multiple job fairs to help address the critical need for skilled employees throughout our commercial and industrial sectors, as well as to help provide well-paying career opportunities for our residents. 2021 saw the resumption of rock and rolls, though with a shortened season, and a return of the annual Shriners Parade. Due to a COVID-related staffing issue with the banquet hall, attendance at the 30th Annual Mayor's Community Charity Ball was limited to 300 guests. Even with that reduction, over $48,000 was raised for local charities. Since its inception, the ball has raised over $1.2 million. The outdoor Christmas tree lighting and Santa Parade returned for a second year, and Shop with a Hero was again held at Walmart. And while it would seem that many of these things that brought us together as a community have returned, the reality is that only because of the unique spirit of Addison and our willingness to work together to overcome adversity have we seen a return to some semblance of normalcy. The intergovernmental partnerships that focus not only on the health needs of our community, but also on social, emotional, and economic needs were a primary reason for the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, an internationally renowned and respected philanthropic organization, to award its prestigious 2021 Culture of Health Prize to the Village of Addison, one of only 5 governmental agencies in the United States to be so recognized. We've always believed that the uniqueness of Addison lies in its resources, location, and its people, and that the strength of our community comes from the shared vision we have for Addison and the collaboration and commitment we share in achieving that vision. The Robert Wood Foundation's recognition of our efforts validates that belief and challenges us to work even harder to achieve that vision, breaking down all silos, sharing expertise and resources, providing for the needs of all of our community, and solidifying that common vision for all of Addison must be our ongoing goal. 2021 continued the challenges of 2020, but we learned from 2020. We refocused on what are the true needs of our community. We repaired much of the damage caused by COVID to our economy. We rebuilt programs and policies to deal with the realities of the pandemic, and we resolved to emerge from these trying times stronger and, yes, healthier than ever before by celebrating our individual value and, just as importantly, recognizing the power and advantage of working together with all elements of our community. For only in that spirit of unity and cooperation can we fully realize the Addison advantage. Thank you for the opportunity of being here tonight and the privilege of being your mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Addison's been very busy. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Okay, we're going to get into the question and answer period. Can still use some more questions if you want to get them in. I said till 8:15, but try to get them in a little quicker if you can. First one for the mayor. When will the recycling center on Addison Road reopen?
That's a very good question. It was closed because of the work that we were doing on the digester at the North Treatment Plant. What we have found is having pop-up programs at the high school seem to be more effective and actually better received and better controlled in terms of providing that service. So we're right now in the discussion phases of whether we reopen the recycling area or continue to have pop-up programs at the high school. So still to come, but we will have some answers shortly. In fact, Rick, we do have a recycling scheduled for
Correct, for the first Saturday in April. So there'll be another one-day event that's scheduled at Addison Trail. Let me just confirm that date. Yes, Saturday, April 2nd, again from 8 o'clock till noon.
Thank you.
For the mayor, are there any plans to bring a family recreational facility to the village?
I think that might be better directed to the Park District.
To the Park District, are there any plans to bring a family recreational facility to the village?
Among other things, we have been discussing that. As I mentioned, though, we do have a lot of structural things that we're looking at, but I know, Jen, there have been discussions at our board meeting with you, if you want to answer that one a little better.
I know, as Commissioner Dean Stathopoulos stated, we are currently always looking for opportunities. Our biggest issue currently is taking care of what we already have. We have a lot of aging facilities, and getting those structures up and running are definitely our first priority, and then looking into all of the other opportunities as funding and grants allow.
For the fire district, and this isn't me, I'm just reading the card. I was bitten by a pit bull on September 20th, and I sent a letter thanking the paramedics, and I never received a response. I just want to tell you how wonderful they were.
It was a letter?
Pardon?
They said a letter?
It said they sent a letter, yes.
All right, so I do not remember a letter, so thanks for sending it. Surprisingly, the mail hasn't been the greatest of late, so no, we appreciate being recognized, though. So.
For the library, why doesn't the library decorate for Christmas?
I will actually defer to Mary. We had this discussion at our board meeting.
Years ago, we used to put a Christmas tree up in our lobby, but the lobby of the library is much narrower now than it used to be, so it impeded traffic flow, and we decided not to put the tree up. We have had seasonal decorations in past years. We've hired an artist to paint our windows with a snowman theme, and honestly, I dropped the ball this year in not being able to secure an artist in a timely fashion, and so we didn't have that put up. We do have the giving tree tags and participate in the township giving tree program, but the deadline for getting those in is several weeks before Christmas, and so that doesn't stay up through the whole holiday season.
And another one for the library, along similar veins, I guess. Why doesn't the library celebrate Martin Luther King Day? It's a federal holiday, and the library is open.
Excellent question. I'll defer to Mary.
We are open on several federal holidays, not because we don't recognize and want to celebrate those, but we know when schools are closed, the libraries are a destination that helps a number of families in town, and so rather than closing in recognition of that, we try to be open, offer programs and displays of materials in our collection to help residents understand the importance of those holidays and celebrate with us.
For the, it says for the village and for the park district, but will there be any further pursuit of improving or creating a downtown Addison as discussed in the past? What if any plans are there for rebirth of the pool? So I guess one for each of you.
Well, for the downtown area, what we're actually looking at, and I refer to the green property, that is going to be part of a land swap. We own some property on Moreland that was really the launch site for the fireworks for Rockin' Wheels. That will be swapped out, and we will take ownership of the actual corner of Lake and Addison Road. So the plans are that we will be looking at expanding the village green and adding more amenities, and we've talked about very, very preliminarily moving the Veterans Circle back to our side of the campus and doing some refurbishing of that. So we are looking at some expansion and improvement in the village perspective.
And for the park district on the pool?
Regarding the pool, thanks for the question. Every one of our meetings, it seems like we do discuss the pool. At this time, it is not at the top of the priority list, again, because we have so many other items to take care of. We have gotten the survey, and even the pool wasn't at the top of our surveys. I mean, people have discussed it, they've wanted it, but I think more people in the village have told us that they're looking at improving biking paths, walking paths, and outdoor structures as well. So thank you, though.
For the village and for the township. My home is a modest two-bedroom, less than 1,100 square feet. My property taxes are almost $5,000 per year. Why are the taxes so high?
Well, I'll start it by saying they need to look at their property tax bill. And there's more than just the village and
The
the.
microphone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's more than just the village or the township that's responsible for the tax bills, so I think that's a question to everyone. The property tax subsidizes a lot of the essential work and functions that all of the taxing bodies perform for the village. And, you know, those aren't free, and we have to find a way of paying for those, so property taxes are part of that.
I would just briefly, Addison Township has the lowest tax rate in DuPage County. And why is that? Well, if you drive the 6 square miles here, you'll find the most industrial property of anywhere else in DuPage County. I believe Addison's industrial park is 4th or 5th largest in the state. North Elmhurst is a huge industrial park. Itasca, Wooddale. We actually have a portion of Elk Grove Village in Bensonville. So while that is still a large number, unfortunately, the state of Illinois chooses to apply and require local residents to pay that through property tax. So they've passed the buck along to the local folks. The importance of the assessor's office is to make sure that those numbers are correct, and so that when you have more industrial properties, then those commercial industrial properties are helping keep the taxes lower on the residential. And I would encourage them, if they are entitled to any exemptions, they can talk to the assessor's office to see if they're entitled to any senior exemptions or senior freezes, veterans disability exemptions or freezes. So I think that they can talk to the assessor's office and see if they qualify for any other tax exemptions.
Thank you. And this is addressed to everybody, so jump in, anybody, if you'd like. Do you have any programs for senior citizens? I'm 93 and a half years old, and I live alone.
I'll jump on that one. With the Park District, as I mentioned earlier, the Addison Park District has a very large senior program. Reach out to us anytime, talk with Darlene. We have trips that hopefully we can start up again. They do a couple events, as I mentioned, a couple days a week they get together. We have the bingo, we do Sloppy Joes, we do dances, they have talent shows or comedy shows going on. So yeah, as far as for the seniors in town, definitely reach out to the Addison Park District and we can accommodate. Thanks.
You could do an over 90 category for the triathlon, too.
Once we get more details, we'll let you know.
Can I add
Yes.
in there? For the high school, for anybody that's 65 and older, we do have gold cards, and that they get seniors into all the plays and music and the athletic events for free. So we have a lot of seniors that do that. We also, there's some luncheons that the school has provided to bring seniors into the high school. So, yeah, and I see a lot of people at those events, like the flower show. I may be one of the younger people there, so really encourage people to take advantage of those programs. Our theater programs are as good as going to some of the professional ones.
I would add from the township perspective, we host a senior bingo. We try to do it about every couple of months. We reinstituted that back around March of last year. It's a very important part of the process for our seniors to be out and about. When we reinstituted it, we tried to do it in smaller groups, and they wanted to come back because they missed their friends, they missed socializing. And it's important and incumbent on all of us to make sure that our community is having contact with one another. But I would encourage them to call our office at 630-530-8161. I will get you the dates on that. We're doing some additional work in our event center to make it more friendly for our senior visitors, but also encourage them to contact that same number to talk to our caseworkers to make sure that there's other events that happen, our Secretary of State mobile unit, our senior health insurance program, and other different things that they can help our senior residents out with and refer them to other services that they may be eligible for through the county. Thank you.
The Addison Public Library, we do offer a lot of things, curbside services, as well as a lot of programs, and even one-on-one support for technology. Individuals could come in, feel free to browse the library and ask us about our programs too.
Great, thanks. For the village, is there an ordinance that is in regards to snow removal for businesses on sidewalks, especially on main streets? If so, how is it enforced?
Bill, you want to?
Yeah, I had a feeling this annual question was going to come up. There is an ordinance, but unfortunately, we can't enforce that ordinance spread throughout the entire community. We rely on the good courtesy of those business owners to go out there and use their snow blower, clear the sidewalks and things like that. I can also tell you that our local program, the superintendent of building and grounds, is very conscientious about what he does around the village. So he takes in all of Lake Street, he takes in just about all of Kennedy Drive. He clears all those sidewalks for the walking paths for the children to get back and forth to the junior high and the library. But if you can imagine, there are a lot of businesses in town. And on those particular days, a lot of kids are transported to school. We have the bus service, as well as a lot of parents on those days take their kids back and forth to school. In addition to that, there are a lot of accidents and there are a lot of ambulance calls. So we're quite busy. And honestly, it would be extremely tough, if not impossible, to enforce an ordinance like that at every business in the community. I'm just sorry we can't do it. We don't have the force that can handle that.
One way to avoid that question is change this meeting to the summer. For the mayor, how can we get bus service for seniors at a rate for seniors that is reduced? There's a great need.
Well, Dennis, I know the township had been very involved with senior transportation.
Talk about a timely question. I was talking with my staff about this the other day. I spoke to the mayor about this the other day, and I spent 3 hours in a PACE meeting with our PACE representative, former Mayor Tom Marcucci of Elmhurst, a number of senior staff from PACE, and local townships and municipalities in the county regarding what is known as Ride DuPage. Ride DuPage is a program that Township Highway Commissioner funds. It serves hundreds of township residents monthly, helping seniors and those who are disabled find rides anywhere throughout the county. The discussion today talked about helping our seniors get to dialysis, other clinical and hospital visits in a very timely fashion, which is almost impossible when they are down 22 drivers out of 48 drivers for local programming. All of us have seen the issues with finding employees, and in the transportation industry, as you have seen with school bus drivers, with truck drivers, with taxi drivers, Uber drivers, there is a shortage. And so while we were understanding of the time constraints, the township spends about $75,000 a year to fund those programs. A couple of our communities in the township, Elmhurst and Bentonville, are participants, and we're looking for effective ways to make sure that our seniors are active, they're able to remain independent, and they're able to stay in their homes. And they've built this township, they've built this village, and we want to make sure that they're able to get to and from wherever they need to go. But it's very difficult when you see the pressures that we're all experiencing. But they did tell us that they're hopeful that some additional changes will help those numbers. But we continue to participate in it, and we are looking for ways, and I've talked to the mayor about working on a program here with Clarendale, with the potential new memory care facility on Lake Street. And the fact that, as I advised Pace, Addison Township has the largest senior population in DuPage County. And with that, we're very mindful of it. And with our limited resources, we're going to make sure that we expend those resources to take care of that population. So I hope that answers the question. It is a question that comes up on a regular basis for us. We participate for it because we understand our population, but we know that we can do more, and we're going to work to partner with the village here to see if we can help here in Addison.
For the mayor, the village always has great Christmas decorations. How do your employees do it?
You know, we're extremely proud of our Public Works Department in doing that. I think the first year or so it was a real pain for them to do, and you know, it was more work, and but they have taken it on as just a sense of pride, and we literally have to hold them back every year because they want bigger and better, and you know, we initially send them out for training. In the past years, they've actually helped train other communities. So we really have looked at it, and feedback we've gotten from other communities, other residents coming through Addison, has been remarkable. We've been told that people on their way home from work will just park in the parking lot just to relax and look at the decorations. So it's a huge source of pride for the village, but it's something that our team that puts it together just does a remarkable job on, and they deserve just a world of credit for it.
This is for the fire district, and part of this got cut off, so I don't know the second part of it, but is there any new apparatus in the future, and if so, what type? And it says it's Station 2 only, and then it got cut off, so I don't know if...
It is a timely question as well. So we're actually in the process now of evaluating what we need to buy. Currently, we've got our oldest fire engine is 21 years old, so it's at its end of life. So right now we're in the middle of evaluating, do we need a fire truck, which has a ladder on top? Do we need a fire engine? So we're in the preliminary stages now of doing that. And then I think the second question was,
It just got cut off. Is Station 2 only and that's all?
So they're probably asking, is it only an ambulance? The vast majority of the time, Station 2 only has an ambulance in it. So everybody knows when we're at minimum staffing, Addison has 3 ambulances, 2 fire trucks, and a battalion chief on duty. That's our minimum staffing. So if we're at minimum staffing for a day, that's how it is. And then as we staff up and we have more employees on shift, then that 3rd fire truck in town comes online. So I think that's probably what they were asking.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And for the mayor, the Chase Bank in Addison was robbed twice in a week. Are there any new protocol measures set in place?
Well, our team has spoken at length to the staff at Chase, and we will be doing some training for all of the banks in Addison. And Bill, if you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, we've worked with the banks in the past, so of course we're going to be working with them again. But I can assure you both those incidents were totally random of each other, completely different people. The modus of operation for both those robberies were completely different. The good thing is absolutely no one was hurt. It does shake people up, and we do have a couple leads. So it'll take a little time, but we'll probably catch them.
Whatever you do, don't tell them to visit banks in other towns.
You know, just a comment I want to make is that I think all of the DuPage County has become more aware of these kinds of incidents and smash and grabs and carjackings. And we just personally want to thank our police department, but all of the law enforcement in DuPage County and our state's attorney for being as aggressive as they are in stopping it. This is not a free-for-all in DuPage County. This is something that we take very seriously, and we're not going to tolerate it. So it's all hands on board to solve these kinds of incidents and to prosecute to the fullest.
Thank you, Mayor.
For the mayor, and I know you talked about this, but maybe you have a little bit more to say. What are we doing with the Luther Brook Center property?
Well, we have several proposals on the table. One of them that actually we talked about at a village board meeting some time ago, and in discussions, what I think a majority of us would like to see our residential, senior residential, one-story independent living type facility with maybe a rec center or a restaurant in the middle where it's kind of a contained senior center. So we've got one proposal that's going in that direction, and that would be our preference right now. But if a decent retail or commercial project comes up, we'll certainly look at that also.
And for the mayor, I think you talked about one of these. I know you talked about one of these, maybe both of them. Updates on the old Oxford Bank building and Fuddruckers?
Yeah, Oxford Bank's moving forward. It's been basically re-envisioned again, and they will be working on tearing down the existing building this summer and moving forward on the project. And Fuddruckers, we have been very aggressive in dealing with the owner, and our understanding is the building is up for sale now, so hopefully we'll be seeing some very positive changes there.
For the mayor, do you know when the operational center for Amazon will be open?
They are talking this summer.
This summer?
Yep.
Okay. And what happened to White Castle at Army and Swift? I heard it is supposed to be developed with a shopping center behind it.
We are aware that the White Castle is now closed. We have not been contacted as far as any future plans. They did, a year or so ago, build out the area to the north of the White Castle. So there's a series of buildings there, retail buildings. So I'm not sure what White Castle's plans are. They haven't contacted us, and so we're waiting to see.
Okay, this may be the Oxford Bank, I'm not sure. For the mayor, do you have an update on any renovations taking place at the old bank next to Frankie's on Lake Street?
That is the
yeah,
action,
okay. For the mayor, we're down to about our last 6 questions, 6 or 7 questions here. Any plans to renovate the old U-Haul by the Sun Mist restaurant?
No, I have not heard any plans or the U-Haul was a major upgrade from what was there previously.
It was. We have not heard anything from anybody, so we're
Okay.
not sure. But he's right, it is a major upgrade.
This is to anybody, it's addressed to anybody, certainly the Park District. Would a water park be something the village would consider building? I guess this is directed to the village and not to the Park District. Or a major retailer like getting TJ Maxx, something like that in town.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the lessons we learned through the pandemic is that financially our businesses did really well because we don't have a lot of retail. We've got Walmart, we've got Sam's, those are go-to businesses in bad times as well as good times. But the discretionary retail that we don't have a lot of, those were the ones that were really hurt in other communities. So, you know, our sales tax, our revenues really didn't tank like they did in other areas that had a lot of retail. So we're not that focused on developing a very strong retail base because we have a good balance right now. The water park, that's another question.
And really, I guess we can relate that to the pool that was asked about earlier.
Guessing, yes.
Yeah, again, we've talked about it, but it's finding the right time and again, the right location for something like that. A water park is a big endeavor. And again, not just cost-wise, but space-wise. So and then we'd have to look at traffic issues that would result in the village. But again, if anybody around the table would like to donate some land to the Park District, that's for another time though. Thank you for the question.
For the mayor, any plans to increase the village's bond rating from AA to AAA in an effort to reduce borrowing costs?
We were told that the way to do that is to move out of DuPage County. Or actually out of Illinois, but,
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, seriously though, we are looking real good. In fact, we've heard good things in terms of future ratings. And so AA plus in the current environment and quite frankly in our state is considered to be fairly good. And
From a financial institution, all the bond ratings, taxing bodies here in Addison are all in excellent shape. So, for the fire district, is there a program available to acquire durable medical equipment for residents in need? Items such like wheelchairs and other things.
Yeah, we do have a program. So we'll, at our Station 3 on Route 53, we store pretty much anything that's non-electrical. So we do not have riding wheelchairs. We do not have beds that move on their own, but crutches, wheelchairs, the kneel rollers, all that stuff, we have a pretty good supply. And basically, if you need it or you have a family member that needs it, you just reach out to us. We check our inventory. If we got it, we'll bring it over to you. And then you keep it as long as you need. And when you're done with it, give it back. And if you have something out there, if you have crutches or a wheelchair from a family member that doesn't need it anymore, if you reach out to us, we'll come pick it up and put it in the supply. So if you think about it, a lot of times those items are only needed for a brief period of time. It doesn't make a lot of sense to spend the money to buy them when you can use them for a little bit and then pass them on to somebody else. So.
Okay, the last three questions, that's for the TV people. For the mayor, is having motel chains good for a community? 2 police were killed in Brady, Illinois, and it seems a lot of crime occurs bringing transients to it.
well, I think that really is dependent on how aggressive the hotel chain is in their management and really vetting the customers and clients that they deal with. And I know we spend a lot of time working with the hotels and their management, talking about issues that we perceive and talking about best practices and what should be done in terms of managing the clientele. And I don't know, Bill, if you want to add more to that.
Yes, we do. We frequent our hotels quite a bit, and we have LPRs, license plate recorders on our couple of squad cars, so we travel through and we look at all those things. And in some of our hotels, if the calls for service go up, we post a pole camera out there and we watch them. So the caller is right. We are concerned about it. But the mayor's also right. It's the responsibility of the hotel to manage their customers, and then they can call us when they have a problem. But we do frequent them a lot.
Just kind of a follow-up question. Is there any chance of bringing back the hourly Addison Motel? Oh. We used to get that for the first 10 years. We used to get that question.
But then we change it to a rental.
There you go. For the Park District, are there any plans? I've never been to the Addison Motel also, by the way.
Bill's got pictures.
For the Park District, are there any plans to bring back the splash pads this summer?
If I'm not mistaken, those are up and running now. Oh, we finally had them working. They'll be ready to go.
Okay.
We're looking, when are we planning on opening that area up, Jen?
As usually we open it up around May, the end of May, Memorial Day, or early June, just weather dependent. But we had a few leaks, and of course, with all of the delays in getting product and resources, it took us longer than expected. But we will be open this summer.
And last question. Why are the storefronts always empty across, for the mayor, why are the storefronts always empty across from Ace Hardware on Addison Road? What can be done to get more business incentives to draw businesses? Storefronts across from Ace Hardware on Addison Road, that would be where Walgreens is, isn't it? Oh, probably right across there
Well,
from the parking lot.
One storefront that looks like it's vacant is owned by La Mag, and that's used as a storage facility for them. Other than that, I'm not sure what we're talking about here.
Okay. There used to be the video store.
Yeah,
and
Ken's.
Ken's, yeah. We'd like to thank all of our speakers and you, the audience, for your participation in the 15th Annual Shape of Addison Town Meeting. It's not easy being up here and having answer all the questions. Let's give our speakers a round of applause. We look forward to next year's program. Thank you and good night.